filming and coming down the ladder at the same time. That's clever. I've got 1 day off. Jack is using the little jet washer to clean some of the sand off the underneath of the boat, which is a good job. We've got this nice little battery powered jet washer, which is awesome. It's not as good as a mains one, but it's flipping handy for little jobs like that and very suitable for Jack to use. And me, I want to do the platform for that, which I didn't manage to get done the other day. I've brought a load of stuff back. Oh, I've also brought our anchor, and I've had that up on the, it's very hard to hold up above my head. But I'm going to try in 1 day to make the anchor platform, the stand-on platform to go on the anchor roller and bowsprit. We'll see. Let's get some bits out of the van. Every job is conditional, isn't it? Every time you think you're going to start a job, you end up having to do something else to do that job, and this is no exception. This here is the pulpit, which has got some bent pieces of tubing. The story we're told is the boat Melody was, in her previous life, was being used as a marshal boat in a race, and one of the race boats, a carbon fibre thing, had a crunch with the front end, did no damage to Melody at all other than bending the pulpit. So as you can see here, the bottoms of the feet on the pulpit have all got a little bend in them. So what I'm going to do is chop each one of these off and weld on a new piece of stainless tube to the bottom. Ultimately, as I say, I think the plan is that Nigel's going to make us a new pulpit and bits and pieces anyway, but because there's so much else that we're asking Nigel to do, I want to crack on with this so at least it's usable, and then if Nigel does have time to make us one, then great. But first things first, I'm going to take these feet off and start looking at how I can just tack on some new pieces of tube onto the ends of these. Step 1, cut off the worst of the 4 bent legs. Step 2, remove the foot and think I should have done this before cutting it off, because then I would have had more leverage. Got those 2 apart, but the next 3 I will take the foot off before I cut that off. That goes in there like that. So now I've got to weld a new piece of straight pipe on to the old one. Okay.
We always like to reuse where we can, so Andy's using a bit that came off the boat previously but that we no longer need.
Welding. Job done. 1 out of 4. That's my score I'm giving myself for the quality of the job.
It's alright.
It's fine, isn't it?
The stainless welding's getting better.
Yeah, it's a perfectly good repair and would last forever, but it's not as pretty or as nice as Nigel will do, but it'll keep us going until Nigel can make us a new pulpit. Okay, so to clarify why I've been messing around with the pulpit, because it got bent, if I then make the platform to go on the bowsprit, I need to know where the feet are going to sit on that platform and make sure that I make the platform wide enough, because I got visions of me making the platform and then offering this up and finding, oh, I've made it 4 inches too narrow for the feet. So this is now repaired perfectly adequately. So what we're going to do, we're going to test fit the pulpit up on the boat. But obviously if we just put these back feet into the gunnels, then the whole weight of the pulpit's trying to fall off the front of the boat. So we've stuck a plank, just a piece of wood, across the 2 front legs for now that can rest across the bowsprit, so that we can see exactly where these feet need to go in our new bowsprit platform. So if I lift this up,
Yeah.
and you take the weight of that, don't pull until I've adjusted myself. Okay. Now, let me walk forward. How much further back are we going? Are we more or less right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just... In the original cockpit of this boat, there was no kind of radar arch, solar arch or anything like that. There was a big kind of hoop thing at the back that went across the transom, and the helmsman's seat was very, very odd. It was a plastic chair sat in this framework that you could move up and down to adjust the height, but it was right over the transom, so your backside was hanging over the transom, which felt very precarious. And to stop you falling over backwards, there was a piece of tubular metal stainless steel to stop you, just that literally just went round your back so that you could lean on it and stop you falling in the water, which was comical and interesting, but not good. Bending stainless steel is really hard, and I can weld stainless steel now, but one thing I can't do is do bends in them. So this is actually better than what I'd done. It's perfect for the nose of our new bowsprit platform. So what I'm going to do is attach that to the front here. I'll turn you slightly. So I'm going to attach this to the front here, probably there like that, and then extend this outwards so that all of this whole plinth bolts to the bowsprit tube and unbolts very, very easily. So first thing I've got to do is figure out how to attach this to that. I think I'm going to extend the legs of this. We'll see. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about it, but it'll be a work in progress.
The nice thing about reusing stuff and using stuff that was on the boat and sort of repurposing it and cutting it up and stuff is that, yeah, we have now changed the design, the shape of the bow platform, the bowsprit platform, but the previous one was all from reclaimed stuff that we had, and this one is as well. So although, you know, we've added on an extra sort of half a day's work, it's fine.
Next step, I'm going to put the bowsprit pole back in again, and then we're going to offer up the new platform assemblage, what I have made it. We're going to see how it looks and what the clearance is like for actually pulling an anchor up through the aperture. So I'll show you what we've got now.
Watch, it's hot.
Yeah, it's okay. This is what we now have, which is our frame and anchor rollers, and that all bolts onto our platform. So watch, it's not that, it's actually, it's not, yeah, I will need gloves. I was thinking, do I need gloves? Yes, I do need gloves. Right, let's have a go at seeing how this looks and getting it up there. That's in. Wait a sec. You'll notice I haven't pushed that all the way in, and that's because I've deliberately left the length of our legs, if you like, on the platform over length, so that we can see exactly how they're going to meet up and get the angle right to the edges of the hull. Yeah, I think I'm all right. Okay. See if I can get them fairly close to the right angles to go on the hull.
I'm going to go up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to cut a little bit of this off. I'm really pleased. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
We're still going to sheet it with stainless sheet and put timber on top of that, so it'll be really pretty. But that's super functional, super strong. What we're going to do now is put the anchor up, because the design of the actual infill, the piece of stainless sheet, that all depends on how the anchor comes up through the platform, because we've got to obviously leave a slot on port and starboard for both the port and starboard anchors. The sort of repaired pulpit is back up.
It's slightly on the...
It's slightly on the P, as they say.
but we can. I think if we push this leg over, it will come straight.
Yeah.
But we'll do that
So
another day.
it got quite badly bent in the past, and we're straightening it out. We need to straighten it out a bit more. But what it does tell us is exactly where these front 2 feet need to be, so that next time I can make proper mounts for those feet. I'm going to pass the anchor up to Melissa, and we're going to try this slightly dodgy procedure of setting the anchor on its roller, which is never sort of an easy job to do on land, as anybody that's loaded a new anchor out of a dinghy will tell you. But it's not an uncommon thing to have to do.
Yeah, especially when our windlass isn't.
Yeah, and we haven't got a working windlass at the moment. It's in situ, but it's not wired up or anything. So, and before anybody asks, of course we'll have an anchor chain. This is just a rope to hold it in position. Hang on. Okay, are you round the cleat?
I'm round the cleat.
Lovely. Take the strain. Let's just, yeah, that didn't work, did it? You are? Okay, you got the strain?
Yeah.
I just want to see that all is holding. Yeah, all is holding. Okay, up. And up. And up. And up. Good. And cleat off. Okay, can I let go? Yeah. Right. And I'm going to get out, not that way, underneath the anchor. What this tells me as well is, can you see how close the anchor is to this chain? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld in a side piece with some acetal padding on the side, just to stop the anchor from clattering into the bobstay chain.
Yeah, it will also be a bit more straight once it's on. So I'm pulling it to starboard.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's on the starboard cleat.
Yeah, and also the whole platform is twisting slightly because nothing is welded securely in place yet. But there you go. I'm happy with that. Let's have a look. Oh, Melissa, you've got to come and have a look at this.
I will. I'm just admiring it from up here.
Before Melissa and Jack get down to have a look at what the anchor looks like from below, I'm not going to be here working on the boat tomorrow because I'm at the funeral of a a very good friend and crewmate who sadly passed away in an accident last week. I don't want to say too much about it, but I just wanted to dedicate this episode to my friend, my colleague and my crewmate Robin. Good on you, mate. I know you always thought I was crazy for doing this, but safe travels and fair winds, and we'll see each other another time, I suppose. Yeah, I know it's stupid. Is it? Is it? How badly? Oh yeah, I know that, but I know it's stupid. Let me get the sun out from behind us. I know it's stupid, but
What's stupid?
the fact that I want to leave the boat. It's just loosely bolted together. It's safe.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not going to fall off or anything. But it's not finished. I've got to make some feet for where the edges of the platform attach to the gunnels and so on and so on. But it's not going to fall on anybody's head, and because it just looks so cool, and because it's the first time the bowsprit and everything's been on and the pulpit's been on for 2 years.
Yeah, almost.
I just want to leave it like that so that when we arrive at the boat next time,
like
it
a
looks
boat.
cool.
It looks like a proper boat.
Yeah. Except it's very, very wide.
That'll do. So I'll give you a last look at my bowsprit in a second, but let's just have a look, because what I haven't done is updated the jobs that I've done or that we've completed over the last couple of weeks. Inside the chain locker, welded the frames, done. Cut and weld in the patches, done. That's 2. Investigate patches lower down, that's 3, done. Sand, grind and prep the steel inside, that's not done. Paint with epoxy, no, I've still got to paint the inside of it. And weld in the baby stage chain plate, the bob stage chain plate, that's done. So there's 4 there, so let's move those 4 across to done. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the outside, finish the bowsprit fabrication. That's done. I know I've got to weld the feet on, but as far as I'm concerned, it's finished. Fit, weld, and paint the bowsprit, done. Because that bowsprit now is usable. It's functioning. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red jobs off the list. Really, really pleased. Let's have a look at what it actually looks like from outside. So in my one single day off between blocks of shifts, I have accomplished this. Allow me to show you. Hang on. Can you see that? This is now our bowsprit platform. I've still got to fill it all in and cover it with some timber, but that is perfectly functional. Oh, and I've got to weld the feet for the pulpit onto the frame, but that's okay, that's a 5-minute job. So let me show you a bit closer up. We've got our anchor section, we've got our main framework, I've got to weld the feet on for the pulpit, but that is all sorted. There we are from down below with the anchor on, and the anchor actually doesn't foul the bobstay chain at all. That'll be absolutely fine. So there you go, thanks again for watching this episode of Sailing Melody. Remember to leave us a like and a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done. We say this every week, but so does every other YouTube channel. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. But either way, thanks very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.